Another day, another direct, another opportunity for Capcom to not announce Ace Attorney 7. I'm feeling optimistic about my prediction there.
Besides, Jova, remember, Square Enix tends to be the company tied more to Nintendo Directs to announce something rather than Capcom.
There will totally be a Splatoon Raiders announcement in this partner showcase.
Yeah,
Yes,
it turns out
Square Enix
Nintendo
are doing an expansion for Splatoon.
Alright,
turns out
so
Nintendo sold Splatoon to Square Enix.
Oh, that's the...
Hello.
I forgot the name. We already seen this game in a trailer before, and I forgot
The
what it's
80s
called.
anime
Aesthetic,
cutscene-esque thing.
Years later, its survivors are living peacefully.
Yeah, they really are
Was this a
committed to
VR game?
No, I think it's a co-op game similar to the ones of Joseph Ferris. Yeah, Orbitals.
Right.
Maki and Omura, two young explorers, must now brave the
I
black
forget, did they announce that
dangers
somebody
of
involved with
all that
Gundam
is
was
left of
working
their
on this?
home.
Because, man, does it feel similar.
I mean, there you go. Yeah, definitely inspired by Joseph Ferris games.
The scrap hook grabs
I really need to get around to playing Split
Yeah,
Fiction
it's
with
very similar to how It Takes Two plays, actually.
The liquid launcher blasts water to activate.
Yeah, I've heard
mechanisms.
Split Fiction is like It Takes Two without a lot of the baggage that It Takes Two had.
It only trades that
So,
with
upgrade,
having
I
a more
guess.
realistic look for the characters, which, as I said, I'm not particularly fond of, and it showcased the fact that at the end of the day, Hazelight still doesn't have a bigger budget to do its own things.
Discover unexpected solutions to puzzles.
But hey, I
I'll
guess
have to
at
see
least
if
the
I can
story's
rope Alice
better.
into playing this, because, like, it's stylish as hell.
Or opt for a detour and take a little travel.
The only thing I don't remember if it's an actual exclusive or if it's multi-plat.
Locally or online if one person
Oh,
has a
game share with the original Switch. Nice.
Can these
I mean,
two
I can
brave
imagine this
explorers
wouldn't be
save their
too
home?
taxing.
Orbitals launches exclusively on the
Probably be
Nintendo
better
Switch
game
2
share
system
than the
this
one in
summer.
the Switch 2 Jamboree. Seriously, all you
It
get
does
is the
show how-
Wiggler map and that's it.
Yeah, sure.
It does show how far we've come in having playable animes.
But yeah, they recently added that in an update to Air Riders for game share to the original Switch, and I can't imagine many Switches surviving. That game is disgustingly detailed, and there's so much happening.
Let's take a look at some upcoming Nintendo Switch games.
Alright,
Also compatible with the Switch 2.
so what's next?
Greetings to all watching this
Oh, is
Nintendo.
this not the Nonary games?
What I am about to reveal is a peculiar tale that takes place in a certain Bay Area in Japan. We have prepared a video for you. Please take a look. Okay, Mr. Storyteller.
On an island where legends of mermaids have been passed down.
I think I see.
I know I
Hopefully that
joked-
guy's a better father.
I've seen. Oh, it's Paranormal Site. Okay, for those who don't know, Paranormal Site is an experimental IP from Square Enix that they released on console and Steam, I think, and it's basically kinda sorta their take on Nintendo Famicom Detective Club, or stuff like not necessarily Danganronpa because it doesn't have the more high octane stuff, but it's definitely an investigation type of visual novel game. I really recommend the first one if you actually haven't played it. So it's cool actually that they're making a sequel. And it's even developed in-house. It's not even outsourced to a different studio. So this is a passion project for the company.
As each of their motives intertwine, the story connects to the mermaid legend told centuries ago.
It wasn't until after this that I realized this was a sequel, because I heard a lot of people talking about it, and I'm definitely interested. It looks really fun.
Oh, Captain Tsubasa.
It is interesting how we're recently. It is interesting that we've been seeing more of vogue of the investigation style visual novel sort of games.
Representing 22 teams.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to see other companies giving it a try.
Newly added special moves,
This year I do want to read more VNs.
dribbles, and tactics. yourselves a boost. Go on the offensive against elite competitors as you aim for victory. Gear up
For those who have know nothing about Captain Tsubasa, it's football/soccer with a bit of steroid put into it.
It's not a name I've heard in
Basically,
a long
it's
time.
We did recently a game and it was successful, so I made a sequel to it.
Will also be available on Nintendo Switch. A life or death fight for survival begins. It was a
Tokyo Scramble from Binary Haze Interactive.
I mean, because we're on a train, I get it.
Discovers an underground world deep below
I swear to God, Am looks like a discarded Resident Evil character.
Oh,
Wait, Dino Crisis?
the unknown expanse.
I mean, it's not Capcom, but no, this looks like Dino Crisis.
oh Jesus.
Although I find it funny that her death was just her queuing over instead of getting chomped and gored.
Wow,
I mean, it did
this
cut off, so maybe it will be that in the full game.
wow, this sequel to Professor Layton and the Lost Future is really dark.
I remember dinosaurs in that one, Waves.
Yeah, Future Tokyo got it off a lot worse than Future Underground London.
I love how much they're emphasizing that, yes, you can indeed also play this on Switch.
Coordinating with your friends is key to making it out alive.
It's probably going to be that way for the first 2-3 years of the Switch 2. They're going to keep Switch 1 centric games up and running.
It feels very
I
weird.
love how-
Oh, it's available almost now.
Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Right then.
Awaken your Viking spirit.
Oh, again about Vikings.
Battle, build, and conquer.
It's funny because we say recording. Oh, it's Valheim. This was released a few years ago. If you recall, it was even nominated at the Game Awards for I think Best Indie for the year it was released.
So basically, a third-person open-world game by the looks of it.
Viking Survival Simulator, basically.
Cool enough. Again, indie-wise, it definitely looks keen.
Oh.
So-
Screen sharing.
So it's,
Apparently, a tree log is that powerful.
Well, that's what they
So,
say
wait,
timber, you know.
wait, if this is a Viking simulator, why aren't we brutally dismembering our enemies?
From the cold.
Dwibs, there's stuff we do other than just that,
That's
you know.
stereotyping, bro.
Oh yeah, I remember that ancient Viking tradition where he stands in front of a fire and then just randomly dies.
That's
Now,
what it's called, a
Dwibs.
funeral, Dwibs, actually.
To reach new lands
Yes.
Huh.
and create even more strongholds. Plus up to 10
So it's
players on
Viking
board.
Sim City.
Vast world together. Now, go
You can even
forth
bathe
Oh my
together.
god, that water texture was floating outside the tub.
Find your way
It's
forward
an
in this
indie game. An indie game that big, we can... Oh,
hi, Hollow
speaking of
Knight.
indie games...
Hollow Nest and fight back the
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
the predictions were right. There was certainly Hollow Knight in the direct.
Team Cherry did mention that they were planning on an update for all versions that will basically put up some features, minor features that were also present in Strong.
Wait, so you could
upgradable spells.
play as
Updated it today, in fact.
in the first game you could play as the Hornet one.
No.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
No.
Launches on
They also
Nintendo
mentioned it
Switch
because
2.
Silksong just released recently.
Nintendo Switch 2 players who have
She is from the game, though.
Switch can upgrade to the
Like, she was always
Nintendo
from the
Edition
game.
for free with the upgrade pack. eFootball.
Oh, here's the past spiritual successor. Also, the one update being of this new update from Hollow Knight that, not gonna lie, I do miss is the fact that they actually have the game pause when you pause the menu. I don't remember if you can actually toggle on and off, but it liked the idea that they had the Dark Souls being off just because you pause the game doesn't.
Okay. Okay, I know I know it's Switch 2, but in terms of graphics, I still don't think Konami have caught up still really with VA.
Oh, that's the new.
I get the feeling they're not really
Elliot. There you
trying
go,
to.
Adventures of Elliot.
Explore the age of safekeeping, the hero Elliot's own time.
If I recall correctly,
Hello,
this is a-
Octopath spin-off-esque game.
Well, it's not technically tied to Octopath. Maybe it's done by the same devs, but it's still built as its own original IP.
Well, this is why I say spin-off-esque in the sense where it's definitely being done in the style of Octopath, but it's not necessarily tethered to it like a regular spin-off would.
It really does feel like just a more beefed up version of a game that Square would have made during the Super Nintendo era, admittedly, so again, it's interesting. Now, where's my Bahamut Lagoon remake? Oh, hi, Bomberman.
Well, we get another thing beginning with B, Bomberman.
Hey, come on, this isn't complete. Where's Bomberman X-Zero? Everyone's
I
saying
take
they
it
like
you're
it.
looking forward to this, Strips.
And they're localizing the other Super Bomberman games that didn't get localized, 4 and 5 specifically.
Oh, it's just the Super
Yes,
Nintendo
please.
game plus those two Famicom ones, if I recall correctly.
Oh, and also
It's true, Bomberman
re-releases
has
of the original Bomberman 1 and 2.
It's true that Bomberman's a fuck ton of games, like Bomberman 64, just to make another example. So I get the idea we couldn't fit everything in one go. The one thing I also know is that in the Japanese Direct, they did announce instead a Gambare Gemon collection, which apparently is not really released in the West. So, hi, Rebirth.
Final Fantasy VII Remake series is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
He's alive.
Right, so basically
yeah.
Square Enix said, yep, I'm gonna wheel in the most content for this direct, because
As
here they are with
okay.
Rebirth now.
Okay, game key card or not, how the hell are they going to get this running on Switch 2?
Okay.
At 30
Again,
FPS,
don't under...
please.
In a buggy or other modes of transportation. Team up with allies in battles, blending action and strategy. If you'd like to focus on the story, there's also a boost function to make combat easier. You'll also find various activities scattered across the world, allowing you to take a break from the action.
You're mine.
And as you interact with your allies, their affinity toward you will grow and impact how the story unfolds. What fate awaits Cloud and his crew in their pursuit of Sephiroth? Final Fantasy VII
Release
Remake.
for these,
There's a section in Rebirth. There's a section in Rebirth where Cloud gets piano lessons.
Well, remember, the piano minigame was
Well-
something that you could do even in the original in Nibelheim, so we just expanded on that. Oh, is this Pragmata?
Oh, I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, the design of the... yeah, there we go. There's the
Hi,
child.
not Maria.
An injury befalls spacefarer Hugh Williams.
Oh,
Rude.
So Shadow turned into a human called Hugh
An
Williams.
android
funniest shit I've ever seen.
Meta.
There you are.
I'll admit, at first I thought Hugh Williams was gonna be
Okay.
like...
Maria
the actor's
renamed
name or
herself
something.
Diana.
This is something that I noticed with almost every single Capcom game that uses the RE engine. Sometimes the human faces veer into the uncanny valley way more than I actually would want to.
I do wonder if we're getting to a point where they're maybe overusing the RE engine. Don't get me wrong, I get that it's
I think it's
versatile
just
and
an
whatnot,
art style
but
problem. Even if you use something like, say, Unreal or Unity, that probably wouldn't change because this is what they deem artistically correct.
that said though, can we talk about how they're apparently going to be using the RE engine for basically
I mean, didn't
everything?
they
It
use
sounds
it
like
to remake
I wouldn't even be
Ghost
surprised
Recon?
if it's...
Depending on the nodes you pass through,
Yes, they did, actually. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they use it for, like, Ace Attorney 7 at this rate.
Oh boy, I
Which
can't wait for Phoenix's intricately detailed objection thing.
I mean, to be fair, like I said, if they used it to remake Ghost Trick and they did not really change much of the art style, I don't see how they would have to compromise what they do for Ace Attorney if they do so. Again, it's more of a case where the company doesn't have to pay royalties to a third-party, engine provider. And again, the more excuses to not pay Team Sweeney and, his goals, the better, if you ask me.
Good job.
It does make me wonder if they actually made the RE engine in mind from the get-go to be as versatile as possible for that reason you mentioned, so that they could do stuff
I mean, similar to when
pretty
Square
much
Enix,
in-house.
tried to do their own Lumino stuff, or Sega with the Hedgehog engine. Oh, there you go, April 24th. Yeah, Pragmata
Anyway,
still
that game
good.
looks like it's gonna beat the crap out of your feelings.
We'll have to see.
Yes.
I don't plan on getting it at launch, but maybe in the future.
Let's continue with more.
Do I hear the girl dying at the end? Do I hear the girl
I
dying
already
at the
said,
end?
Turok.
No.
I already told you, Joe, I think the twist is simply gonna be that, his daughters look like the same, and we get a Last of Us, sequence where we say,
Yeah,
"No,
yeah.
you're my daughter, no matter what."
How about the twist be that Diana is actually evil?
Solo or with a team of warriors online and battle all sorts of primal
Okay,
creatures.
Or maybe the...
just to give a small crash course, so who here knows anything about Turok besides me?
Unleash weapons, melee attacks, and
I've
heard it
heard of
mentioned
them, and
before
I've
at
looked
one
into
point.
a few of them, but you are probably a better expert
Okay,
than I am on
licensed
them.
game based on a comic book which stars a Native American who has to fight dinosaurs and poachers with mixing some sci-fi and fantasy setting into a South Central American context, basically.
as you venture across
I'm sure I've played a Turok game on the N64 Switch Online.
Yes, those were the days where they popularized the trilogy of the games, but they released them quite a while, and the publisher changed,
Copyright
regularly.
DreamWorks Animation?
Yes,
What?
they currently own the IP. It's a mess. I will have to tell you another time because Kyoto Xanadu.
exists that's encroaching on our own. A world where monsters
This is
roam
one of
free.
Neon Falcon's flagship IPs, and they did mention that they were planning something because it's like their anniversary or some shit, so, makes sense. To answer, again, to make a very long story short, originally I think Acclaim did have the rights to the licensing of Turok, but those jump around, including Disney by the way. The mid to late 2000s Turok the reboot game was actually published by Buena Vista Interactive or some shit like that, and because it got passed down later down the line, now I think it's owned by DreamWorks and Universal, and they just out-licensed that to Saber Interactive, which is part of the German group that also THQ Nordic is part of. Again, it's a mess.
It's probably not the case, but it's so funny to imagine DreamWorks going, "Oh man, all the other studios have their hands dipped into some video
At
game
this point,
franchise. I want one
Turok
too."
animated movie at this point. The license is pretty rich to exploiting that. We should do it at one point. Oh, animation.
Yeah, that is surprising.
If you like it-
like all the
hi,
you like
Digimon
it-
story.
It'd be like if Warner Brothers all of a sudden own Command and Conquer.
How is this
say,
game
though, you do
anyway?
I've heard good things about this
I
Digimon
think that
game.
she knows more about it. Again, these more recent Digimon games are something that I haven't tried myself.
I haven't played a
From what
Digimon
I-
game in years.
From what I've heard from a friend of mine who's still living and breathing Digimon, this one's another good one. Like, okay, from what I understand, the Digimon series was kind of in a dark place where a lot of games weren't getting localized, but then starting with, like, I think it was Digital Mystery or something like that, they finally pretty much have been doing it
considering
consistently,
the
and
damage
they've
of
apparently
Saban
been
did to
eating
the early
well.
seasons of the anime, I get the idea why for a while the Digimon stories were not translated. Oh, hi, Grand Blue Fantasy. This is another one of those things that is very popular, but I never played it myself.
That's the gotcha.
No. It's the action.
I know Grand Blue.
Remember, this is the action game that was supposed to be developed by Platinum, but it took way too long to be made. And also,
okay.
it also has its own particular bit of shoddy translation issues. What I heard, but I don't know if they were fixed in the meantime or not.
What flavor? Like old translation?
Classic stuff where a character is technically saying a short phrase, but the text of pre-translation basically so long that you can tell that they're actually adding stuff that wasn't there before.
Hey, Monster Hunter Stories 3. A good chunk of this direct is stuff I more or less expected, but that doesn't make it bad, I'll say.
There's been one or two surprises, but this is more of a consolidation thing. And again, partner showcase, I had to expect only third parties, maybe one or two, first party at best, like what happened with the ocean exploration game like last year.
I forget, what was the loophole for that one's inclusion?
No idea.
Demo will be available later today on
it's like, partner directs, you can still get good surprises from them, but I usually expect them these days to basically be like a big reminder of stuff that's coming.
It's Rage Racer!
Actually, Ray
Actually,
Racer.
dude, it's Ray Racer.
Remember that one?
I know.
First place in a race
wait, was this made by Namco?
I don't know.
Get ready for a new line.
Boy, this sure would be a good time to mention that a third-party partner is helping them make a new F-Zero game.
Oh, hi, Doraemon.
Oh, Doraemon?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
The big question is which one, because Doraemon is a fuck ton of video games. Oh,
Hi, Sonic.
Wings.
Specifically Sonic Wings.
Don't worry, Java. Sonic is too busy being locked in a cell with the Chaotix right now. Oh, Monster Rancher.
Oh yeah, I've been listening to those. It's pretty fun.
That's a Sony
Oh yeah,
IP.
yeah. The podcast has been pretty good.
Oh, Ninja
I need to
Gaiden.
listen to those.
Yes, you do.
That's Cool Borders. It's actually published by Sony, if I recall correctly. That's actually interesting. Oh, Tony.
It was published by Sony. The last one was back in 2000.
Yeah, on the PS2. Tales of Arise, I noticed.
Well, 2001.
Another
I guess there was
game
another one of
begins.
those where they just licensed it out.
The Final Fantasy influence is very apparent. With
Oh,
that.
Reanimal.
And here we have
This is
Reanimal.
done by Little Nightmares team, if you forgot. And it shows WWE 2K20.
WWE. From what I've heard, it's the Switch 2 port of the last game has turned out significantly better than the last time they put one on
Oh,
Nintendo.
Star Trek game. I actually did not know about this one.
Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown.
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Of course.
We have Kingdom Hearts at home.
PG.
It's more like
struggle of
Animal
fighting-
Crossing with
the struggle-
microtransactions.
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh,
Is the
yeah.
struggle of fighting the heartless team?
For a second there, I thought this was called Fight the Video Game.
Goat Simulator 3,
Yeah.
answering the question of just how much more you can do with this damn goat.
Yes.
You know, goats could swim.
You learn something every day, Lives.
It's like whenever people get surprised that tigers can
There's
swim
Tales of
despite being
Arise.
cats. Lovely.
And let me guess, the reaching out scene ends with one of them dying.
Here we
Evil
go.
Requiem.
Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah, Square Enix
Resident
and
Evil Red 9, Liam.
Square Enix and Capcom are really carrying this particular direct.
Ashcroft is captured by the suspect while investigating the case.
Okay, so we know about the other one, but is this lady new, or is she an old character
She's
too?
she's a new
She's
character.
apparently new.
Again, the last name implies she might be related to one of the founders of Umbrella, but who the fuck knows?
Unknown threats.
Also, she might be related to one of the people from Outbreak as well. Again, it could just be a funny coinkydink with her name here. I will say I do hope she's at least more interesting than Ethan. I'm sorry to all Ethan fans, I just never found the guy too interesting for 7 and 8. Yes, cool, he has a compelling reason. I wish he had a compelling character to go with it. Although, hey, to actually keep you interested, here's a veteran right here.
Leon.
There you go, Internet. There's your boy.
Yeah, there's your bloody returning Resident Evil character. You happy?
And just like in RE4, he's so sick of everyone's shit.
I noticed that.
Was he ever able to tolerate anyone's shit?
Remember
Is he going to be
Shiroi?
voiced by the guy who voiced him in the 4 remake?
Probably, for consistency's sake. Also, remember Shiroi. Remember, in his debut in RE2 was literally his first day on the job as a cop in Raccoon City, so things got worse.
Oh yeah, you can
since
play
day
in
one.
both. You can play in both third and first person, and you can adjust
I think
it
that's
depending on
really
which
cool
campaign you're
that that's
playing.
optional for the whole game.
That is
I like that.
Yeah, that is a very good compromise. Take notes, Indiana Jones game, and I might buy you.
Jova, I told you, stop staring, wanting to stare at Harrison Ford's ass.
It's like, it won't even be his arse. It faces it from the waist upwards, so at best, Jovo would get like the back of his head.
So, again, it looks like we are indeed going back to what should just be a crater, but is
Just
somehow
like
still
in the final
relatively intact.
chapter.
Umbrellas.
I swear to God, one of these
Jesus
days we will
Christ.
actually meet Alice in one of these games.
Yeah.
Nah,
You know,
she's too busy being killed by Agent 47 at the minute.
Lord, that is a thing. I do
Oh,
look forward to when we
controller.
actually do start covering the Resident Evil series,
That's
though.
an idiot controller, I'm sorry. I don't know what they were thinking with that.
Oh,
And
goody,
you get Resident Evil
amiibos.
amiibos.
This'll go great.
I'm
next
still
to your
using a Switch 1 Pro controller.
And get a weapon skin.
Beautiful.
So do we have one more thing?
Entry in the Resident Evil series is launching later this month.
Oh,
Okay,
an
so-
interview with the dev team. Cool.
Featuring a member of the Resident Evil Requiem development team. The video will
I like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Always interesting to know,
Transparency is
you
always a
know,
good
Yeah,
the
our
making
last
of.
one.
Oh, hi, Todd.
Oh,
And it's downhill from here!
Todd.
has meant so much to you from your early
Here's the
days of
announcement.
gaming
Nintendo
and
have been
now
sold to
incredible
Bethesda.
throughout the
Have you-
partner-
Here's your one more thing, everybody. Hope
you-
you're happy.
Are you standing on a stool, Todd? Because you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, he does look a lot taller in this perspective, doesn't he?
Or are you having
Seriously.
massive shoes, you know, the super drip? Because in case I want to see
They AI'd him to make him taller.
I swear, like,
oh, all of four.
it really was just stunning, though. I guess all these years we had never really gotten to see his height proper until we saw him next to Harrison Ford and Troy Baker.
So I,
And I guess he's short.
so I guess we're getting a bunch of Bethesda games ported properly to Switch
I don't
too.
even remember.
So wait a
Yes,
minute.
he is sure.
So we're getting Fallout 4, but not even at least 3 and New Vegas beforehand.
Why are you starting
Well, I mean,
with 4?
at least this can put to bed that silly conspiracy theory that Bethesda hates New Vegas for some reason.
Well, no. So far
Wait,
it's
how
only
is this
4.
helping that theory?
What's the
Because
thing
they're
though?
skipping with
If they really hated New Vegas that much, they would have been releasing 3 but not New Vegas.
I guess, but it's still weird that there is only 4. Unless,
Like, don't get me wrong. I like the different companions you can get in 4, but again, Fallout 4 is not what I would call the
here's
series'
Indiana
best
Jones,
foot
huh?
forward.
I think we already knew that it was getting a Switch release at one point.
I mean, from looks, it's not. It's gotten a decent transition to the Switch 2.
Set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Last Crusade.
Of course, gotta have the boulder.
Yeah, the first level, if I recall correctly, is a recreation of the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark to easy win.
Yeah, annoying thing is, they do even have some segments in third person, but not the whole. It's like, You know, I get it. For some people, first person is cool.
It's also
but...
it's also developed by the people who made the more recent Wolfenstein games, who have been first person outside of the cutscenes. So it's more very used type of developing a game.
Launches on Nintendo Switch 2, May 12th.
I do feel like it holds back a lot of the game's potential, but hey, a game where you kill Nazis, I can get why they would have the Wolfenstein guys work on that.
Elder Scrolls 4, yeah, I'll believe you, no, of course.
4.
To be fair, there are already a fuck ton of editions
Five.
of Skyrim, so, might as well do this instead.
Freely customize your character to match.
Apparently, they improved the animation, so yeah, I get to see Patrick Stewart in a video game, not janky.
And fight back the Daedra to close shut the jaws of oblivion.
I can't remember how his
in
character
that one.
model looked in the Castlevania ones he was in.
No, it was fine.
In this remastered version, character models, weapons, even rocks and sweet rolls have all been meticulously recreated. Combat animations have also been updated.
His appearance in that game was this one of the cases where they captured his likeness or just the voice?
No, they
mainly?
just voice. So you have to remember, Jova Vent, the engine that Bethesda was using for Elder Scrolls at the time was, a bit rough, so the characters did look very weird. So these remastered serves to give a more uniform appearance, more in tune with what the recent editions of Skyrim had, which is why people are hoping they do the same with Morrowind, for example.
Okay, well, to be fair, in terms of like getting celebrities to voice in a video game, at the very least, you could justify getting Patrick Stewart for just his voice, because he has a very iconic one at that.
Yeah.
As opposed to several others where they don't really sound video game.
Oh yeah, like NetherRealm Studios getting I forgot which actress to voice Nitara.
Megan Fox.
Yeah, for Mortal Kombat 1, and then not even using hair for the actual in-game battlegrounds.
That's the insane thing.
Is...
They had Christina V do the grunts. It's like, dudes, just do Christina
because
V
we want a
instead.
celebrity. Also, wow, I guess that was really it. Alright, final thoughts, Dweebs.
It was a okay direct. I don't expect too much out of the partner showcases compared to the regular Nintendo Directs. But for what was announced here, the announcement in terms of how they look quality-wise, they look solid enough for early Switch 2 games. Because one of my biggest fears for third-party games on Switch 2 was that people would just be like, they just put the Switch 1 versions on Switch 2 and leave it at that. But at the very least, they're putting a bit of effort into them. Although the real big pot look at the moment is still going to be whether there'll be all on the cart or just game key cards. Although apparently I've heard since the Nintendo have been releasing different sizes for game carts, so who knows at this point. Yeah, overall I think it was solid enough.
Yeah, it wasn't a super pinnacle direct, but I do agree that as far as a direct to, keep momentum of speculation and news going, it did its job well. Again, despite my predictions of No Ace Attorney 7 being announced, seriously, what's taking so long? But regardless, Capcom did come through with Pragmata, Monster Hunter Stories 3, and Resident Evil Requiem, as did Square Enix with their own truckload of content, culminating, of course, with Rebirth. Heck, even Bethesda threw in, a few titles at the end, which is... Still felt weird as a finale, though. Again, I'm guessing when it comes to these partner directs, they have much less of the, the typical structure of the one more thing that you build up to, and it's more just, here's some information and this is how we chose to arrange it, basically. Which, hey, what we got wasn't bad. We got a new investigative visual novel series, installment, with,
Paranormal Site.
Yeah, that looks interesting. A lot of these games do interest me. I'll definitely consider getting Rebirth. I do hope most of these are actually on the card instead of doing this stupid key card thing. I know that may sound weird coming from me, who these days mostly games on PC, but look, when I get something physical, I actually want it to be able to be played physically. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say there were necessarily big standouts, but I do feel like for the most part they had a good selection here. You know, they've got stuff that they're bringing back. You got your collections. You got some new stuff here and there. And of course, you got the ones that people have been paying mind to, and it looks like they're almost here. I am looking forward to Pragmata for sure. So yeah, overall, a solid direct. Not the best, but it does its job, essentially, partner showcase-wise.
Right?
Shirai.
Yeah, pretty decent partner direct. Really like the first two games that were showed. And Pragmata does look like it'll also be fun. It's probably something I'm going to watch other people play rather than play myself, but yeah, nice to finally have a release date for that, considering like they had to delay it a couple of times, but yeah, that's it. It was overall a pretty decent direct.
Alright, I'll conclude.
Right then.
This was okay, not the most, groundbreaking direct, but we've seen a couple of these in the past, including particularly the partner showcase. So again, I had already my expectation low enough, so this was not particularly disappointing. And again, I've seen a couple of things that interest me, like the Paranormal Sight sequel. I'm still planning on getting the first one. I like to see if it's worth a recording or not, depending on how long it is, how the content is, and how paced it is. But it does intrigue me enough to at least give it a try on my own.
Is the first installment one of those super, super old visual novel ones where
No,
there's
actually,
not as much visuals?
it's a recent IP, Drova. The first one released in 2023, actually.
So it was definitely Square Enix throwing their hat into the ring for the
Yeah.
investigative
Again,
visual
I do
novel series.
appreciate that despite the losses that they had in terms of money, they still are willing to try to do experimental stuff with these kind of things, because those are the things that I do appreciate compared to, the pre-2015 period where there was barely anything, so at the very least, there is that. Speaking of which, also the 2D HD game that they're also making, it's also interesting enough. But also the Capcom stuff. For those who don't know, also Capcom has this kind of thing that they update regularly, something between every 4 and every 6 months, roughly, which they call the Platinum titles, which is like a top 100 list, if I recall correctly. In this case, 125 of their highest selling titles. And they updated recently and mentioned that some of the titles that did not even receive particular ports or updates still are selling hundreds of thousands of units, like say Devil May Cry 5, which between the end of September last year and now still sold 300,000 additional units just on its own, so. And they do have, this thing of updating, which is interesting in, keeping the players informed. And yeah, the reason why they're focusing so much also on Requiem is because outside of Monster Hunter, Resident Evil is their other current major flagship franchise that sells well. Just the Resident Evil 2 remake sold 16.80 million units up until now, which is a lot, obviously. No, again, it was interesting. Shame about the stuff that was released, that was announced only for the Japanese one. Particularly Konami actually had this because they announced a new pro baseball game, which is one of the IPs that they only stick for Japan for it. And unfortunately also the Gambare Game On Collection, which is an Hudson Soft IP. And the reason why it's probably not coming to the West anytime soon is because the Gambare Game On games have barely been translated, like 2 or 3 in total, and they're like 13s, if not more. So the job required will have to be more for that, and they probably did not wanted to do any instead focus on the Bomberman games, which, hey, you win some, you lose some. But the good news is that with this collection will be available in some capacity, and people will be able to tinker with it maybe and give fan translations if they want. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Probably.
Again, the Bethesda stuff to conclude, I did not have a problem with it on its own, but I don't think it should have been the big finisher. You know, I don't know what could have constituted. Maybe Resident Evil Requiem should have been fine as the final thing to showcase but really, the having Todd Howard basically get the last laugh just feels wrong for different reasons, obviously. But
Yeah, it's like it feels like they just wanted to plop information in and weren't focused on having as an exciting a structure as you usually expect from a direct, because that's the only way I can see really justifying ending. Okay, it wasn't even like it was a big blowout from Bethesda. Like, I'd argue we got bigger segments from the Capcom stuff than any of the Bethesda stuff, which was more or less just, yep, here's Fallout, here's Oblivion.
I still found
here's
it weird
Underground.
that, again, they're only releasing Fallout 4 instead of, also 3. Again, New Vegas, it's a game that Todd probably hates, even though, again, the team that made it is also working with him under the same banner, Microsoft anyway, you know. But at the very least, release also Fallout 3 if you don't really want to release the classics at the very least. So no, it really feels like they're probably waiting to do maybe like a special edition remake of that one so they can also release in multiplayer, because unlike Skyrim, Fallout 3 hasn't really received any major re-releases yet. So they're probably just waiting to do that, if I had to guess. But again, that's pretty much it for this. Again, decent enough direct, could have been better, but I've seen worse. Alright, stay tuned for whatever happens next.
See you then.
Bye.